What's going on? There's no audio.
We're here.
Yeah, it's I'm here.
There's no board audio. Oh my gosh, you're joking. Hold on.
What happened?
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Whatever time you're listening to this, whether it's live on the Big X or it's when you wake up in the morning, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, whatever it takes, we thank you for listening. This is the three-man front. Matt Childress, Roman Kelly, Grant Skaggs. We're all here. We'll also have a special guest coming in here in just a few minutes. We got a lot to talk about today. There's been a lot going on this week. Not only the news of, Louisville Kings, but in the UFL in general. There's also been some huge updates with this team. We're going to have the future voice of the Louisville Kings here on the show today in Dalton Pence. I'll bring him in just a minute. Roman Kelly himself has some pretty big news to state throughout this show as well. Before we get into that stuff, guys, how's it going? Grant, I'll start with you. How's your day been going, man?
Not bad, not bad. Pretty slow day. Got out of the clinic a little bit late, so we're doing this fresh from the car, but can't complain.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Nice little car stream. Got to get it going for everybody. Just make life a little easier for everyone. Roman Kelly, how's it going, my man? What you been up to today? I know that we've been out of the studio the past couple of days with Louisville, Kentucky going in tournament play, and those games been going on obviously during our traditional shows. So we've been kind of at home just watching ball. How's that been, my man?
It's been interesting, not being in the studio like normal, but not gonna be mad at a little bit of time off. Still excited to chat with you guys here on the three-man front, get our Louisville Kings talk out there, all of our news and updates. Excited for all that. And of course, a special guest. Haven't had a lot of those, and we'll be having one of those here joining us on the radio show in just a moment. Already joining us here on the stream. If you're catching us virtually on the YouTube side of things, on the Big X YouTube page, or on the three-man front Twitter page, where you can also catch us virtually as well. But I'm excited, man. Louisville obviously just got a loss in the ACC tournament. That's there's positives to look at in the experience in the ACC tournament, some things we can take away and have into the NCAA tournament, but it's still obviously the day that Louisville loses. When you're a Louisville radio guy, it's never fun. knowing that you're going to have to rewatch that, break that down, and go talk about it. But nevertheless, excited to chat with you guys here and ready to get into the Louisville King stuff.
Like Roman said, go ahead, look us up on YouTube. If you're not watching the stream, it'll be at Big X Sports Radio. Look us all up on Twitter at mchilders__, at Romy Bean, at G__Skags20. And now joining us, Mr. at D Pence _ Dalton Pence, the new voice, the PA announcer for the Louisville Kings. How's it going, Dalton? How are you? It's great to have you on the show. This has been something we've been talking about for quite a while now, so I'm excited to have you on.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm super excited to talk with you all a little bit tonight.
I want to start off, Dalton, I wanted to ask you. So you had let Roman and I know that you were reaching out for this opportunity for quite a while now. And, the process took a little bit of time, but it finally got announced last week, which, we're all extremely happy for you. And when you fully announced it, I mean, there was a wavering amount of support for you on Twitter, on Instagram, basically all over the place for anybody that consumes any media within the city of Louisville or state of Kentucky. How did that feel when you got to fully announce it and you got to see basically not only just people who are excited for Louisville Kings, but just people who listen to radio in general being that excited for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's super surreal. Felt like it was my first big break, and I've been, PA announcer for this will be my 10th year. I started as a senior in high school, and this is a full decade of PA announcing. So it was awesome. Extremely humbling. Like I said, grateful for all of the support. I wasn't expecting it to take off the way it did. I understand, I built a little bit of a following up, but nothing along those lines. But it was also, I think the main thing that was the coolest part was seeing the UFL fans react to it. Those that maybe didn't have, allegiance to the Louisville Kings or didn't really have any allegiance to the city of Louisville, but you see people, following you that are fans of other teams. The interactions have been great. And it's been a super cool experience witnessing the support out of the gate. It blew me away.
Yeah, I mean, we were all extremely happy for you. It's really cool to see, that one of our colleagues over here at the Big X is going to have such a cool opportunity. Obviously, all three of us will be at the games here with you as well, so we'll all get to meet up for that. But as well as Dalton, we have another person here on the show on the three-man front who has another pretty big role here at the Louisville Kings, not only just running the #1 radio show covering the Kings. Roman, go ahead and get into detail of what you're going to be doing here in the future.
Yeah, Dalton, I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you as well about your new news and your new achievement in becoming the PA announcer of the Kings that I'll get into in here in just a few moments. But like Matt just mentioned, fellas, I've gotten a gig. I've made some things happen thanks to Dalton Pence, being the man he is, opportunist, taking advantage of the things that come, throwing my name out there, and I've been granted the opportunity to have the in-game host position with the Louisville Kings down at Lynn Family Stadium. Fellas, this is surreal. Honestly, I still can't really believe it. I can't really process it. The fact that, we already know that the first game sold out. I'm going to be on a microphone in front of fans. Obviously, the love is still growing and molding for the Kings. It's not like I'm some diehard UFL fan, but I'm becoming one. I'm obviously buying into us having this professional football team for the first time ever here in our city. And the fact that I get to be the personality that kind of makes things flow on the game day side of things within the stadium is just absolutely awesome. I can't wait. I'm super, super excited for it. I haven't really done anything like this straight up, obviously, but I've had a couple of opportunities to do some summer camp emceeing. I've obviously done a little bit of PA announcing. As you guys know, I'm a big play-by-play guy, having gotten in with Midway University for their football and basketball teams. And it's just kind of combined with the radio been a growing of things that I feel like has given me the ability to take on this new endeavor. So I'm super, super excited for that. And shout out to Dalton Pence. He was in the room at the right time when this conversation got brought up, and luckily, out of the people that had the chance, I got the opportunity, and I'm super, super excited. Some other news that'll kind of come with that before the season starts that we'll be getting into later in the show as well. But to get into my next point, Matt, if you don't mind, I've got to ask you, Dalton. You've been doing PA for years now. You've been doing it at the high school level. You've been doing it at the university level. You've done it for multiple sports. I mean, at the end of the day, though, professional football is the bread and butter of media, right? And the fact that we get to have a professional team here and you get to be the voice that people hear and associate with the actual in-game happenings on the field. What are the internal emotions? Like I'm over here elated that when the ball's not being played, I get to do something, like I get to be listened to, right? But when the real action's happening and you're sitting up in the nosebleeds and you can't tell and you're relying on that voice that we all rely on in games, you're going to be that voice. How does that feel?
Yeah, I'll start out here, man. It wasn't about me, man. I think that you earned this role because of what you've been able to put together. I mean, the past couple of years for you, watching the trajectory that you've had has been super exciting to see. So, man, don't sell yourself short. You earned this, and I am,
Appreciate that.
without a doubt that you're going to take off in this new role. But I mean, I think I'm right there with you. I keep coming back to this feeling of surreal, right? I've mentioned that I've been told no many times over my PA announcing journey, and a lot of it is because I'm a younger guy in the sphere of PA announcing. So, but I still have the experience to back that up, but it just hasn't mattered to an extent to where you get told no so many times for opportunities that you've really wanted. And then one rolls around unexpectedly. It's funny to watch how God works sometimes. I mean, it's awesome to be the voice and represent a new organization in the city. And I think the buzz surrounding this team, I mean, look, you all have started a radio show because you've seen it. I mean, the increase in fandom before the first kickoff has been through the roof. Season tickets, media fests, fan fests, you name it. So just to be able to play a role in that and to be able to represent my hometown and just get that opportunity has been an awesome start to what's hopefully going to be a pretty good beginning for the Louisville Kings.
Gosh, I mean, you guys are about to make me cry over here. This emotional connection you guys are bringing up to your careers. I feel like Grant and I are getting left behind.
I'm about to say, I want to break up this kumbaya meeting and be like, oh, dude, I hate the way he dresses. I hate the way he walks. Like, we got to add some balance to this.
Over there.
You guys
it ain't a quad one haircut, I'll tell you that.
But, I mean, we're all extremely happy for Roman and Dalton. I mean, look, Mike made fun of Roman and I when we first made the show, not because of the show, but because on our first episode, we called it The Voice of the Louisville Kings. Can we officially call this show The Voice of the Louisville Kings this point? Big X is the home of the Louisville Kings.
There you
go.
We
got the PA announcer. We got the game day host. We got the only radio show covering the team. This is the home of the Louisville Kings, guys. Come on.
I'm okay with it. I think so.
Dalton, I had another question for you. When Roman brought up the history you have with PA announcing at different levels, this is obviously it's not fully NFL. It's a semi-professional league, but it is technically professional football. Is this something that you would you're going to put on your resume and try and pursue even further down the road, or do you think this is something you might stick with at this level for a little bit of time?
Look, I mean, the issue with the city of Louisville is that you all know there's not a huge professional sports footprint. So, as far as I'm aware, this is kind of the top. Now, here's the thing. When I started out as a PA announcer, my focus, my dream goal at the very end of the day was Louisville football. I wanted to announce a Cardinals stadium, and that is still my end goal. Like, that is where I want to get to. It's not NFL. It's not NBA. It's not any of the close professional teams. It is the University of Louisville football. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm going to put this on my resume, but I think that during the process when I applied for the Kings spot, my mindset didn't just go from that, but it started to include the Kings into that conversation as well. It's like, okay, well, the Kings are like a destination position for me too. And, the future's to be seen, but yeah, this is a great milestone. This is the most high, I don't know if you want to call it like high caliber position that I've had. But I mean, it's gotta be, because you see how just important and popular the UFL is becoming in the United States because they're adding new teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's constantly going to be adding new teams. And I generally feel like the backing for this league we've seen so far, they're obviously investing in it really heavily. And the fan bases of a lot of these teams have exploded in this offseason, especially
Yeah.
with the new additions and one being the Kings. Grant, did you have any questions for Dalton?
No, I mean, really, it's just an absurd opportunity. Being in so early in this space over like the last month or two, just seeing the way you guys work, the dedication you put into this. I mean, I'm super excited for the two of you in terms of what you got going forward.
Yeah, I'll say this one thing. I first of all appreciate that, Grant, and I'm glad that you can find me in the crowd of the KFC Yum Center by just wearing a quarter
It
zip.
never shocks. This is the first time I've seen you not in that outfit. I'm kind of
Is that Dalton wearing a
taken
quarter zip?
aback. Dude, I'm being a PT, I'm insanely observant. I little things here and there. I think that like out of the 5 times I think I've seen you in person, this is the only time I've seen you in a different fit.
Hey, there you go. No, but it was funny how Matt brought it up because he was like, "Yeah, dude." Grant was like, "Is he the guy with the jacket and pants?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" No,
That
but
was like similar to basically how he said it at the game. Grant just looked at me. He said like the most basic outfit I've ever seen. I look over and Dalton Pence is the first person to grab my eye. I'm like, Grant, he's right. There he is. He's right there.
I was like, because I think it was the same outfit he wore whenever I first came up. There were the same pants, the Louisville quarter zip, and maybe the Yeezys that he had on. I could smell it from a mile away.
y'all big Jack Harlow guys, Jack Harlow fans?
Pretty decently.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to bring me into this next point. I had some people reach out and ask me, because they saw your all's tweet and they said something. Can you bring up? Is this like it's this rise into this role like out of nowhere? It seems like you came up overnight. And there's a lyric that I've kind of always used from Harlow. It's on one of his older albums. It goes basically like, Jay Wise used to book me for the open mics. It kills me that they act like this was overnight. The truth of the matter is it was not overnight. This has been a 10-year journey to get to this point. And that's something that I keep bringing up is because there were many times along the way where I thought about putting it on the shelving and calling it quits. And you just kind of have that weird intuition to just keep going and appreciate the process. And I'm bringing this up not to brag on myself, but to publicly thank the people along the way. There's so many people that were instrumental in this journey that you all don't hear from or get to see because they are making the games work behind the scenes. It's the athletic directors, the SIDs, the marketing directors, all those people that just don't get the credit they deserve anyways. I can't take all the credit by myself because I had a couple people stick their neck out for me and, really vouch for me. One of them being Lance McGarvey, one of them being Doug Willem, both PA announcers at Louisville, and a couple of ADs as well. So it's been a great journey to this point that I'm super appreciative of. And like I said, it's not just me. This opportunity isn't just about me. It's about the city of Louisville and doing what I can to play my part and helping this organization grow in popularity. And I think that's kind of the way I'm operating. This isn't an opportunity for me. It's not just about me at the end of the day.
It's kind of like a little bit of a Louisville success story in a way. It's just kind of the way that you've come into this role, though, is kind of like a showcasing of how things can kind of operate in Louisville. If you just stick to the grind, continue to work hard, continue to make connections, things will continue to unfold for you if you do good work. And Dalton, that is one thing you consistently do is an excellent job until every time you put your hand into a new endeavor. So excited to have you here on the show. You being on the 3-man front makes it a better radio show just from having your presence on here. And we're excited to be chatting with you here today. I've got a couple of questions, Dalton, kind of centered around some Kings talk here. I know that we've got a lot of exciting news that we've been chatting about, and there's a lot of sentiment centered around that, and I'm sure we maybe even get into it a little bit more. But what excites you most about when you're down there on the field and when you'll be up in the booth, I would assume, actually, with the headset on, but when you're getting to watch the game day experience and getting to see pro level football being played in a stadium you've watched multiple games in already, you've been connected to, you're going to have lots of different connections down there in the medium and sports realm. But on the actual football side of things, what excites you most about what this Louisville team's kind of brought together?
I think a lot of it has to do with the stadium. Lynn Family Stadium being a soccer-style stadium, everything's very much like on top of you. So with the news that season ticket sales have been going great and there being a lot of people that are going to that first game, I think people are going to be taken back. If you go to Louisville City games, you know this, but if you don't really, frequent soccer as much, you're going to be surprised by how loud it can get. I mean, the stadium only holds about 14 to 15,000 people. That's not a small amount, but it's not like huge NFL stadium. It's going to be loud because it's a bowl that just engulfs all the sound. So I think that that's going to be the main thing for me, is just kind of being like the catalyst for that and channeling that energy and feeling that energy as well. I think it's going to be a lot louder than people might think.
I wanted to know, Dalton. So obviously this, like I said before, you've been working on this for a while, but it got announced last week. What's been like the preparation for you coming into this? Because I mean, this team, barring the couple of Louisville, Kentucky players they have, is half the shows we've done here have been breaking down the players that nobody knows about. So what's preparation from that? I mean, you're going to be calling them out. You're going to be calling their touchdowns. You're going to be calling their interceptions. What's that look like for you?
I think any announcing opportunity that I have, whether it's at the high school level or at Louisville, Bellarmine, Spalding, there's a certain level of professionalism that I bring to the table, when it comes to preparation. I'm to the point now where for this opportunity, the night before and kind of leading up to it, I'll take a look at the script. The script's more of the, topic than the roster itself, because you get into a groove, right? You understand who players are. And the first game might be a little bit of a challenge, and honestly, kind of just relaying all of that in real time, right? Football, even though there's like 30 seconds in between plays, trying to find out, okay, who got the tackle, relaying that to me, and me finding that person on the sheet, saying that in a way that's entertaining and getting ready for the next down. And then you multiply that by X amount of plays. It's challenging. Football announcing is not easy. It's one of the more challenging sports that I've had to announce because of the nature of the game. But in terms of preparation, I'm going to go into this how I have the previous 500 plus games that I've announced, which is just be professional in everything you do and be entertaining. So not really worried about the preparation, because you can only prepare so much, right? New venue, new opportunity. You'll find what works and what doesn't. It's really more so, okay, get the number, get the tackle, announce it, and let's go. Second down. Then you just rinse and repeat for 4 hours.
And make sure you're throwing a little bit of pizzazz in there.
Yeah.
What's your pizzazz going to be? You hit the zoo. He's not even on the field.
Listen, put him on the field. Watching him play, put him on the edge, man. I want to see my guy Zoo coming off the edge. But I'm interested. I want to ask you all a question. So I've been kind of going back and forth on this. You obviously try to create traditions as an announcer, and it's not easy if there are no traditions for a new team, right? For Louisville, you've got Cards first down. For Kentucky, you've got first down Kentucky. What are we thinking for the Louisville Kings? Because I'm going back and forth on this.
I think you got to manually hit like the nay every first down.
I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
That off.
That's a good question, though.
I think that's got to I think having the horse neigh in the background, like after the first down call, is smart. But I don't know, like, what am I want something it's like almost like a call and response, how it is at Louisville games. But
you want like a producer tag, kind of.
Mike Will, man. I mean, something like that.
No,
but you get what I'm saying. I want as much as I can. I want to keep the crowd engaged as much as I can, and kind of help create those traditions.
No, I mean, that's a great question. I have to think about that. Do you guys have any ideas off the top of your head?
You might have to get like some kind of like royal phrase in there, some kind of something that would be used around like some royalty, or thy first down. That I don't know. Thy king's first down.
Good evening.
Thy L's down, as Benny Snell crosses.
First down, thou kings. Something smooth like that.
Your first game is just full old English. Every call.
Take a sip out of your tea after every first down.
Thine quarterback is jesting.
You imagine being the marketing person looking over like, what are you doing?
That 14 different plays on the soundboard.
4 yards of change for Bean.
Person who
it's going to be
Benny Snell on the rush. 4 yards of change.
But I think that's the thing. If you're talking about preparation for a new organization, right? I think right out of the gate, there might be some hiccups first time through because it is almost like a trial run. But if anyone's listening to this, let us know on the Three Man Front social media on X or Twitter what you think the first down call should be. I'm definitely, like I said, this isn't just about me. Fans have input as well. You all want to hear what you want to hear, and I want to make sure that that comes to life.
Well, we unfortunately we do have to go to break. Dalton, we really appreciate you for coming out. We
Of course.
love you, man. We have so much support with you. It's a great story, watching a media personality come out of Louisville and really gain some serious success. We all know how hard that is, but we really appreciate you having you on, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Love you,
Well,
Dalton.
Love you, Rome. Appreciate you, fellas.
Well, guys, like I said, we do have to go to break here for a second. We are going to be on for the full hour of the Three Man Front here over air, so we don't have to transition over to the stream this time. We're already on, so we're good. So when we come back, we're going to get into Roman. I already touched on it a little bit. Roman's got some more news to talk about. He is new to the game day host, like I said, but he's got his first gig already coming up. So we're talking about that right when we get back. We are super excited to have Dalton on. It's always appreciative. We always love that guy. He's a great guy. We'll be right back here on the Three Man Front. Welcome back in. You're back here. The three-man front. Matt Childress, Grant Skaggs, Roman Kelly. No more Dalton Pence, unfortunately. Sad day. Dalton Pence had to leave. Asked him if he wanted to stay the whole time. He's a little busy today. He's a busy man, you know. Getting prepared to be a professional sporting announcer is a lot of work. He's also got a full-time job on the side as well. That dude's always grinding. But before we get into some of the serious nitty-gritty stuff, I teased it before the break. I'm going to let Roman talk about this next topic right here. Roman's got his first gig as game day host of the Louisville Kings. Roman, why don't you go ahead and get into it for us?
Yes. So as you may have heard, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, glad to inform you now. The Louisville Kings will be hosting a fan fest on March 19th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. down at 4th Street Live, where there will be lots of special guests from the team. Coach Chris Redman, Willie Tyler will be there. Jason Bean will be there. Steel Chambers will be there. Keaton Ellis will be there. And before the Kings Fan Fest, fans may attend a Louisville Kings Select a Seat event. Be a part of this from, I believe, 11 to 3, where you can select your seats for the new season. That will be happening tonight, actually, from 5:30 to 7. That's happening right now, fellas. I'm sorry. I thought this was happening before the Fan Fest. This is actually happening today.
I saw that on the email earlier as well, and I was going to add to the notes, and then when I added the whole thing and realized, oh, it's literally when we start the show.
Yeah.
So if anybody's listening right now and they're in their car, if anybody's in their car listening, drive down to Lynn Family Stadium and go pick your seat right now.
Plenty of time still. 7:30 it ends. Go get your seats for the season. Go get in. You get those ticket packages as well that I believe you can still get access to. But, Matt, as you mentioned, first event of the season, because it will be 5 home games that I'll be the in-game host for. But the first event to kick the season off will be this Fan Fest event, and I'm excited for this because this will be a time for fans to come out, see a few of the players up close, along with Coach Redman. Interview some fans. I'm sure there'll be some events for some giveaways, some drawings, I'm sure as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some jerseys and as well of team gear that they'll be giving away, if not selling, if not both. But excited for this. Fans can come out there, see Coach Chris Redman and see me on the mic for the first time in action, interacting with the fans, the players, and the coaches. I think this is a cool opportunity to kind of have a laid back way of seeing this kind of happen up close, get to see all of the things that these coaches and players are going to say about the upcoming season firsthand, and getting the opportunity to hear the fans' questions, which we don't always get, fellas. I think that that's kind of the way that sports need to operate. You've got to have fans asking questions, getting the thoughts out there, getting all of that and getting that connection, because that's what buys people in. People go to these kinds of events. They get to be a part of this, even hear a question that they might have been thinking, and then go and talk about that with their personal circles. And that's how things grow and mold. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait. A little bit nervous. Haven't gotten a script yet for it. Don't know exactly how it's going to go, but
I was nervous for you when I heard about it. My palms would be so clammy, dude.
Yeah. Every time I think about it, I kind of like forget it's real. And that's just how it goes when you get involved in new things. There's only one way to get better at it and to get good at it, and that's to go do it. So I'm excited.
What's that video of the is it Oregon State or is it Oklahoma State where the quarterback's down like 40 points and
Oklahoma State.
He's trying to hike the ball, his hands are shaking. That's gonna be Roman interviewing his first person at the game day fan fest.
Taking the mic. So are you guys excited today? King's hat falling off, tripping and falling all over the place. Armpits sweaty. Yeah,
it's a really cool opportunity. We're really happy for you. It's so cool to see so many people, so many faces at the Big X having so much success and really jumping on the Louisville Kings here, as well as, the co-host of this show. You're going to be able to see Roman out there. You're going to get to meet him and if you're not a stream watcher, if you're a listener on the radio, you're going to be able to put a face to his voice. And you're going to get to meet him. Grant and I are going to do our best to make it out there. Obviously, when Roman's not here in the studio, somebody has to cover for him. So we're trying to figure that out as we speak. We all want to be out there, then, you can possibly meet all of us. But as of right now,
we got to get Gary in here. We got to get Gary or Dave in here. We got to do the radio show from the Fan Fest. I have a little bit of support.
That would be super fun. That's a good idea. We're going to have to try and do that. That sounds like a great idea. But I love so far how much effort that the Kings and UFL in general have tried to put towards building a community not only here in Louisville, but in the other teams as well. And it seems like everybody is so connected into giving back to the community as well, making it something worth it for you to attend, not just because if you're a lover of sports, but you're going to, I mean, you get something out of everything they've done. They've given away stuff at every single event. They're giving things away at every single home game. And it seems like they're going to try and make this kind of like a Louisville Live / Big Blue Madness thing. And hopefully it's going to be an annual celebration. You're going to see Roman once a year being the host of this event, which is going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited for you, Roman.
I'm super excited. And you're right. This is the kind of stuff you have to do when you're a new market to a league, I believe. I feel like that fan connection starts off with getting connected to the fans, giving them stuff, bringing events in, getting them to say, first 5,000 fans to the arena get this, right? Not only are you giving stuff away, but you're giving an incentive for them to get there early, congregate along with the other fans getting there early, and make that a norm for your all's home games, right? I think it also kind of will probably help with parking to have that long variety of fans that will be arriving both from that hour mark before the game all the way up until people stop coming. It's probably smart as well. But I think it's going to be brilliant. People are going to be able to connect, post pictures. I'm sure they're going to do the Jumbotron thing where they give stuff away. You post your selfie, you hashtag this, and we get you up on the screen. Those kinds of things are important. Those are what, there's going to be some people's first ever pro football games. It's going to be some people's first ever football game. And it's going to be some people's first ever sporting event. And doing little things like this, I think, is just a little way to get those fans in, get them in for the beginning of it, and keep those fans.
Grant?
I mean, it's from what we saw, and about a month ago with the snow and cold weather, seeing the turnout for that type of event, and going into maybe possibly sun out, 70 degrees, potentially getting up to that day, I think it's going to be a massive success. They just got to keep going the route of marketing it and getting people out there. But I think it's going to be wonderful.
I think it is too. That was something that I was thinking about a while back is, gosh, Louisville winters can get pretty crazy, especially with the one we had. We had Snowmageddon go on a couple months ago, and it usually doesn't get warm around here in Louisville, Kentucky until about mid to late April, early to mid-May. But I feel like we've had some pretty good weather these past couple weeks, so it's looking like it's shaping up to be a pretty nice opening weekend for the UFL. And to have the inaugural game here in Louisville, it seems like it's being purposely set up that way, and it looks extremely exciting. I also forgot to plug the Game Day Men's Health text line at the beginning of the show, 502-414-1450. If you want to text in, get any of your thoughts on with us right now. We have one text in the show at the moment. It says it is actually an answer to what they think Dalton Pitts should use for his first down call. They say, texter says, first down, then the crowd yells Kings all together. I think that sounds okay.
I like that.
I can see that.
I don't know what Dalton
too
says
generic
before.
for me.
Too generic for you?
Too generic for me.
I would like the crowd to have a response. I mean, I think that's what you got to have. Yeah. Maybe Dalton says something, and I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to have his own spin on it. I do like the fan response being a part of it. We'll have to brainstorm that. But speaking of brainstorming, I want to get your guys' opinions on some pretty big news that happened over this past week since we hadn't been on the show, and that is the news of Lynn Bowden Jr. We'd seen players from the local area drop out and come and then join the team and this and that, and it really didn't make a big splash on social media. There was kind of just oh man, that sucks that Lorenzo Malden's going to be an actor now. That sucks that Desmond Patrick is injured. He's going to end up going to a coaching role or something like that. This is the one where Twitter kind of blew up off of this because of what Lynn Bowden was saying about it. Did you guys get any chance to look into this stuff?
Yeah, I was actually at work, and my dad texted me, and he was like, "What happened to Lynn?" I was like, the Lynn Family Stadium? Did it blow up or something? And he's like, "No, Bowden." I was like, "Huh?" And then I had to go to Twitter, and yeah, he seemed like he was kind of losing his mind about it. But thinking about it, I mean, we've kind of talked about it over the last week or two. Media-wise, they've been really rolling out the film since they started practicing, and we kind of brought it up one time. It's like there's no video of Lynn Bowden doing anything. Like, there's plenty of one-on-one practice, receivers catching balls, and we never really saw Lynn, focus in on any of it. And I was like, man, maybe he just got, he got priced out. He wasn't as talented or ready for this league. I mean, this is the second time he's been cut in spring football in the last 2 years, and it makes you wonder if he really had as much gas in the tank or just juice left in his legs to really mean something, especially with what Chris Redman said in an interview that I'm sure we'll get to later.
Yeah,
Feels like loser mentality stuff a little bit to me.
And honestly, I wouldn't expect it from really anybody else. Like it just kind of seems like Lynn's memo. And when he first joined the team, we kind of talked about a little bit as far as like his mentality and his positivity going into this season, but we kind of saw it unleash over the last couple of days.
Yeah, it was kind of. I mean, it was really unfortunate because
the news and move on.
It was really unfortunate because this was a guy that a lot of the fans were really excited to see, not just Willie Tyler or Desmond Patrick or now Tyler Hudson or Benny Snell, who when you brought up the film, Benny Snell, I feel like has been all over the film. They had that one big video that came out a couple weeks ago where he was mic'd up and he was trying to catch a pass from Chris Redman. The guys look like they're having so much fun in practice, meeting each other, playing with the team. Even the days where they're scuffing it up with each other and getting a little aggravated. You made a good point that I hadn't really seen Lynn Bowden in any of this. Now he did some media campaigning before practice started where it seemed like he was on everybody's podcast. He was the popular name for the Kentucky fans out there who are excited for the season. And even when I tweeted the news out, I mean, I had replies out the wazoo to this tweet about how upset people were by it. One person said that he's the only reason they got season tickets. One person said that they're extremely unhappy. Some people were speculating that it was a coaching decision. Some people were speculating it was a Lynn Bowden decision. Everything that's leading up to it. I mean, there was an article written about it, and it basically states that Louisville has one of the deepest wide receiver cores in this league. I mean, they have 6 or 7 guys who can go out there and catch passes. We spent a whole show as one of our first 2 shows breaking down the wide receiver room and the corner and the secondary itself and all these skill positions. And I can't find a reasoning besides that, like you said, Grant, the dude just kind of got priced out. And
but even then, it still surprised me because of how much media campaigning they did. Even if he was on the bottom of the totem pole, I'm still shocked that they cut him because in this league, local talent and the local media production and getting that community buy-in is good, but you don't want to sacrifice the lack of talent for not getting, bigger dogs in the fight. But I'm still shocked they cut him because I did think he had great ties to the community and what he was bringing to the fan base.
Yeah, when we met him at the first Fan Fest, I mean, the dude was extremely excited to be on the team. He was extremely excited to be home and to bring professional football to the state of Kentucky and the city of Louisville. Roman, what was your opinion whenever you first saw the news drop and you started, seeing the discourse upon it?
I mean, I felt like I agree with Grant 100%. I thought it was interesting to see a player that they knew were going to bring fans in just from his own name. There was going to be a big chunk of the fan base. That's kind of why they started to buy into him on social media a little bit. When you saw him getting posted, him and the Kentucky players getting their pictures together and whatnot, I felt like that was a prime example when you saw the responses and how those tweets got more response time and clicks and likes and retweets and fans engaging with him that you would expect him to be a big role in what was going to happen for this team. Seems like he dropped down the depth chart and then the attitude shifted. If that's what you're going to be in at this level of your pro career, I mean, for one, you're probably not going to be a valuable locker room piece. So that's kind of how, my take on it is that you don't have room to really, I'm not going to say argue, but feel like you're in a disagreement with what's being developing with a depth chart on a new team, a brand new coaching staff. Everything about what they want to do is going to be new, somewhat experimental, and they wanted you to be a part of the experiment. They need you to buy in. There's going to be games where, with injuries and players moving around, you were going to have games you were going to start and be the main guy for 2 or 3 weeks at a time at some points. That's just what is going to be inevitable the way this league works. And the fact that you kind of gave up on the entirety of the year and what that was going to mean meant that he wasn't really bought in all that much to begin with, in my opinion. The discourse on it was not surprising because, like Grant said, he was a very, very, very popular aspect of what this team was going to be to the local ties and the storylines for those local ties. And now you don't get that, which hurts. I think you've got plenty to kind of suffice for that, but won't be surprised if they do lose a handful of fans from this, but they should be able to make up for it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of these players were brought in locally to bring eyes to the sport, bring them in, get them, get butts and seats, and bring up the excitement. But you should still be excited for this team. I think the thing that sparked a lot of this discourse wasn't the news of him getting released, like I said before. It
It
was
was a
just the
Twitter
way
post.
his responses to it. So, like right afterward, right as it went on, before the news broke, he tweeted, "One man's trash is another man's treasure." And then he retweeted a bunch of other stuff. Like he said, he tweeted 3 laughing emojis right after that. And then he said, nothing really hurts. Or he retweeted a tweet that said, from Antonio Brown, by the way, which is a very interesting character to be retweeting in 2026. Nothing really hurts more than being a good person to the wrong people. And then tweeted another crying laughing emoji right after that. So it was kind of I don't know.
It's kind of a temper tantrum, honestly.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Cryptic temper tantrum. Like, that's just.
And then after this, it obviously sparked a bunch of people wanting to know immediately what's going on. Was he released? And then, Grant, you alluded to it already. Chris Redman got interviewed from James Larson of the UFL, and I didn't have the quote here on hand, but what it said was, this note points were, it said it was mainly a numbers game. Needed to bring in some D linemen, and the wide receiver room is stacked as is. He has high regards for Lynn as a player, and the door would be open for him to return later on if he chose to. Because, like I said, in this league, you can basically join and get cut at almost any time. It's really cutthroat out there. And then he also says that he let Bowden go now so that he can try and find a new home before the league cut downs, like before, because they have to cut down their roster before the season starts. So he's giving them an ample opportunity to join a team before the season begins, which I don't necessarily fully believe it. I feel like it's kind of some coach speak out there from our man Chris Redman, but at the same time, the way that he reacted, it kind of, leads into play that there was some roster situation and there were some depth issues that Lynn Bowden fully didn't really agree with, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I think I still would have rather seen us maybe get rid of the, rid of the 4 or 5 running backs we have, since we are pretty stacked at the running back position with Benny, with Robinson. I think I would have rather seen one of them maybe go, because I really do think it's just gonna, it's made some very thorny imprints with a lot of folks.
I can understand that. I think that at the end of the day, people are going to get over it. It sucks, and he did open the door for him to come back if he so chose to. So we'll see what happens.
He helped him out in the long run. He gave him the opportunity to come back. He opened him up to still having an opportunity in the UFL this season and not having to be some player that has to make up lost time, which he's going to have to do at this point anyway. But it's still preseason, so you still have that opportunity. At the end of the day, it seems like we weren't trying to go about this in a way that was negative, And to me, that's what you've got to do for one in the UFL. You don't have Louisville, a brand new team, doesn't have room to be burning bridges, but the fact that he would kind of respond in a way that seemed like he was done wrong, even though we did all clearly tuned up to help you out, that's just a little bit weird to me.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like some unnecessary bridges being burned, and it seems like it's kind of a stain on the situation at hand and on the team as well. But I fully believe that everybody will get over it. Everybody's still super excited for the team. It was the one negative piece of news to come out of last week. There was some positive news to come out of last week as well, which was exciting. It was out our guy, Jason Bean. Did you guys see this stuff?
God, I love him.
Jason, so they've been doing a lot of breakdown. They've been doing a lot of breakdowns on who they believe each team's starting quarterback is going to be, because each team has a pretty large plethora of quarterbacks at their disposal. They're adding and dropping some. We talked about N'Kosi Perry last week, and then all these different quarterbacks that are going to the league. And it seems like Jason Bean is gaining serious traction to be the week 1 starter, which I don't think surprises any of us with the way that Chris Redman had talked about him before practice began and all the film he led. But there was an article put out on him by Ethan Birch, who writes for the UFL and has been covering training camp for them. And he interviewed Chris Redman on Jason Bean. And Chris Redman said, he's definitely been a leader of this team, and he's so talented. This is where the part that really struck me. He said, he's right there in with the Lamar Jackson category that not many guys are in. He loves his receivers, and we've got a great running game to support him. We're comparing Jason Bean to Lamar Jackson right now in 2026 on March 12th at 6:19 p.m.
Like, of the UFL, Chris, is that what you mean? Which is still would be exceeding expectations. So
Yeah,
he's
his
not a
words
Lamar
are,
Jackson tier quarterback. So
I don't think anybody believes that. His words are in Lamar Jackson category that not many guys are in. Is he just saying running quarterbacks? Is that what he's
Yeah,
saying?
I think he's just saying about the dual athleticism and arm talent. But I mean, since the very beginning, since we met Coach Redmond, I mean, he's been all about pretty much like if the Martians have a death beam pointing at Earth, and somebody had to throw a bomb to the end zone, he's got to pick Jason Bean.
That leads me to my next question for you guys. Do you think that because of all this hype that he's gotten from Coach Redmond, is there any chance that we see another quarterback maybe start here down the road?
He could get cut tomorrow. We don't know.
You never know.
True.
But no, I don't think anybody gets that starting spot besides Jason.
That's kind of where I'm at. They ended up talking to Jason Bean right after him, and they asked him about the offense in general and how, as a quarterback, you're the floor manager. You're the chief out there. You're the head coach on the field within gameplay. And they asked him how the team's gelling together, how it's going, and are they getting along this? Because there was that video that the Kings themselves put out, what was it, 2 weeks ago now, where there was almost a fight broken out at training camp, and it got a lot of spark, and people loved it, honestly, which was kind of funny to see.
They were buying into the energy and this and that of the training camp.
It was surprising to see the Kings be the ones to post that video and be like, "Heck yeah, pads are on. We're lighting them up." I'm like, that's our own team, guys. Come on, it's our own team. Can we not light each other up? But he said, we're starting to gel together. We're starting to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we will be ready week one. It seems like he's very confident, which this comes out after the Lynn Bowden situation. So it's one where the wide receiver core, we've talked about it already, seems one of the only areas on this team that's set in stone. We haven't seen a lot of movement. We've seen tight ends come in and out. We've seen D linemen come in and out. We just gained more edge rushers over the weekend. Does that tell you guys a story of how this team is going to be run, or do you think that a lot of that stuff might just be, the systemic, just random?
I've got a quarterback. I've got 2 or 3 receivers that can all make plays, and I've got a running back, at least one running back. I've got everything that I need to go out there and get up and down this field in Coach Redmond's eyes with his playbook.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just saw that he has enough skill position guys that can really make a meaningful difference, and he decided, hey, I think we can sacrifice a spot and go beef up one of the trenches or get a linebacker.
After that, they went on to discuss about how the defense was doing, and I feel like we haven't heard a lot about defense at all in the offseason, which with the whole rule changes, that doesn't surprise, I think, any of us.
We saw a couple interception videos and felt like that was it.
That's about it.
Yeah, no Oklahoma drills.
No, none of Oklahoma drills. They're just fighting during practice. That's about the closest we're going to get, apparently.
Just scrimmaging and fighting. That's just all right.
Just throwing hands.
They actually did, Grant, not Oklahoma, but they did. They released a video the other day. They mic'd up Chris Redmond. They were doing one-on-ones. They had a whole section of practice of just one-on-ones. They didn't show any of them. Probably got a little scrappy, but I'm not here to play devil's advocate or anything. But they went on.
If it doesn't get scrappy, you don't have a football team.
They went on to talk about the defense, and he was asked about defensive coordinator Jamie Sharper. And he said, I knew Jamie would do a great job. He's got a pedigree of incredible defenses. I knew we were going to be good, but I feel like the defense is really moving in the right direction. They're coming together, and hopefully they continue to get better. Being such an offensive-minded head coach, and with the offense that we see this team is probably going to run, do we think that this is high praise from Coach Redmond, or is this more of the football coaching special where you just kind of have to hype up every area you're in?
I think it's coach talk. He has to keep that talk up in the beginning, in the middle. These are the times where you can win fans. Your words still work now, and he's trying to put those words to work. And I think it's just normal. Preseason, I'm going to only say the positive things as much as I can at every turn.
Grant?
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. It's definitely a little bit of coach talk, but I think it means a little bit more when the guys he's talking about actually have success, whether it's in this league or in previous ventures. I don't know if y'all watched I don't know why I am so dead set on Coach Logan. I did not know what this man's voice sounded like until they dropped his microphone talk. Oh, dude, it's silk. It is just that Appalachian, Midwest accent. Oh my God.
Imagine that dude calling plays in your ear. You're Jason Bean. You got your heads. The crowd's going crazy. You got your hands over your helmet, and it's just that man. It's just that man calling your plays.
Oh, dude, I fell in love with it.
Do we think that? Obviously, like we brought up, because of the rule changes, they're really focusing on scoring a lot of points and keeping the attention of people watching these games, and keeping the excitement up. Is there any chance that we see a true just defensive beast of a football team out there, or do you think these games are all just going to be shootouts?
No, I definitely think you can see. I mean, like with the rule change, like there's going to definitely be some points on the board, but I think this team can actually put up a pretty solid defensive front with the veterans they brought off Memphis's team last year, which they've had a pretty good defensive standpoint last year. But I think this team can actually hold some games true, but it's definitely going to be a lot harder with some of the nuances they put into the league this year, rule wise.
I think that, I mean, there's going to be a lot of moving parts on the defense, more likely than not. But I do think that this secondary has a lot of speed, and I'm excited to see what we kind of look like in the pass game on the defensive side, because I think there's going to be a good amount of takeaways. I think we're going to play an aggressive defense. We're going to go out there, give them one-on-one matchups, and tell them to win those matchups.
I mean, you're 100% right. We talked to Chris Redmond at the first fan rally, and he brought that up specifically. He said that this team is going to play a super aggressive style. They're going to play super fast. And that probably does lead to more points, but it also probably leads to more turnovers. It leads to more excitement, which that's a lot more work on Dalton Pence's side. So I can't wait to see what he has to do with that.
A lot of young cornerbacks on this team. A lot of young corners and safeties.
We've talked about a lot of news already on this one show, but there's one more that I've been leaving off for the end here, and it's probably the funniest piece of news when I broke it to you guys the other day, is that the Louisville Kings are getting a halftime show. And when I texted you guys this, you guys both had the same reaction, that you said, like, for us, like we're getting a halftime show. And when I first read that, I thought you meant like we were going to play some special music in between our breaks. I didn't think and I understood you meant like during the halftime of the games, we would do a show. No. The country music star Russell Dickerson will be performing at halftime March 27th at their first game. How do we feel about this? Like,
I mean, look, you got to do what you got to do, right? Let's bring in as many fans as we possibly can. Look, we don't care if you don't like football. If you like Dickerson, get in here tonight and come watch this concert at halftime. I think it's a little bit of that. I think it's trying to buy into that first overall experience due to having a sold-out crowd, making it as memorable and as exciting and as eventful as possible.
Probably yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think it's a great idea. I don't personally listen to his music a ton. I mean, I think you'd make a bigger statement if it was Kid Rock out there at halftime, but
that's the secondary halftime show. You got to go to another YouTube channel for that one.
Oh, is there another stream going on at the same time?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad.
But I think the one thing that came to my mind when I read this was, one, it's really cool. We're going to get a halftime show performance at a Louisville sporting event here. It's going to be on major networks. We've already seen that during March Madness, they've been plugging, ESPN's been plugging the UFL this season with all the rule changes. And I feel like there's a UFL commercial every 30 minutes, it seems, which is really cool. But my one concern with this, do you guys remember the halftime show 2 years ago on Thanksgiving with Jack Harlow at the Lions game?
Yeah, but then again, they gave that man $20 and said deal with it. Like I don't think there was any prep time for that.
I got the feeling that Mike Rapoli is going to dump a bag on this, and it's going to be probably not like Super Bowl level extravagant, but it's going to be suffice, and it's going to be fun to watch. There's a little bit of piece of me that's scared of what I'm about to see. It's just going to be Russell Dickerson with one mic, like a lav mic on his shirt, and he's just going over the
out on the grass by himself.
Yeah, just on like a miniature pony.
To his songs.
Field goal kickers are warming up in the background. He's just like, he's got one guitar and like one guy taking pictures of him the whole time. I'm a little nervous. But it seems like they wouldn't have broken this news if they weren't fully prepared for it. So I'm excited to see what happens. I imagine everybody that's going to be there is going to be excited. How many people do you think are going to be at the game that probably don't even know this is going on?
I mean, I'm going to be one of them. I know what's going on. So
Roman's probably going to have to introduce him. Roman's going to be on the field.
Thinking about that,
dude. You can't butcher his name Because I think I've read his name 3 times. I couldn't repeat to you what his name is.
Russell Dickerson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, bring
Kid
your
Rock.
attention down to the field for Russell Dickerson.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be great.
Getting
There's
ready
like
already.
a 45-second delay before he walks out.
It's gonna be fantastic. I'm super excited for the start of the season. I'm super excited to see Roman get his shot at being the game day host. I'm super excited to see.
Do you think Russell Dickerson gets the stealth bomber treatment?
No.
No flyover.
You don't think so? Or do you think it's going to be like a couple of the planes from Bowman Field just gliding over, trying not to crash?
Probably a little bit of that.
They're gonna coordinate like a UPS 737 to fly over at the same time and like airdrop package UFL or UFL Louisville Kings t-shirts out of the box.
That'd be cool.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun to see. But we appreciate you guys for listening. This has come on to the end of the show. We'll be back here next Thursday with more. This has been the 3-man front. Matt, Grant, Roman. We'll see you guys next week.
Go Kings.
Go Kings.
I love you, Jason.
Hopefully, Matt has us muted on the PC pod so we can get things wrapped up over here as well. We got a good amount of you viewing on the Twitter side of things. Looks like we have about 50 live viewers right now on X. Appreciate you guys tapping into the show, giving us a view. Throw us a like if you want as well. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week, which will be Fan Fest Day. So I don't think I'll be on the show. Matt, you'll have to help us promote on the Mike Rutherford show. I'll be heading out early that day as well next week. So come out and see us 4 to 8 if you can. Matt and Grant will probably hopefully try to get down there at least after the radio show. Got about an hour and a half that they'll have to make it if you want to come down there and see us.
It is on the Thursday, right?
Yeah, next Thursday, a week from today. So we can maybe get some fan interview reels for the 3-man front page or some little bit of short form content.
Maybe.
I think it was on
Grant not
Wednesday.
trying to do it
Is it
there.
on the 18th?
It's on the 19th.
No, it's the 19th.
Oh, 19th. Okay.
I'm gonna try and talk to some people around here and see if maybe we could do it from there.
I said
what
that'd
I
be
would
the
like to
easiest
do.
way.
If we can get, like you said, we can get Gary or Dave to come and just do a little bit of Mike show, and I could leave early. I'll see. I'll text them
Or
out and see
even
what we can do.
Justin.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll figure
At
it
the
out.
end of the day, we just got to get to restream, get that PC pod on. It's not too hard. But we appreciate you guys listening today. Shout out to you guys, the 50 of you all on here on X still tapped in with us listening. Roman Kelly, Grant Skaggs, Matt Childress here for the 3-man front. We'll be back next week.